Let us take you from overwhelmed to I can do this. Visit brucesteam.com today.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a good Karma brand station.
If you love authentic Mexican food, I urge you to visit the Mine Shaft restaurant in Hartford today for the Tuesday all-you-can-eat Mexican buffet. WTMJ's John Mercure here. It's incredible. It's all your favorite Mexican, and it's just $9.99. That's right, $9.99. Shut the front door. Desserts are buy one, get one free, and kids and grandkids under 5 eat free from the kids' menu today. Free. It's the best Tuesday dining value anywhere. Bring in your team, your hardworking employees, your key clients, your beautiful family. Check out the Mexican buffet. They will love it. The Wednesday all-you-can-eat fish fry is $7.99, a crazy low price. The Mine Shaft breakfast skillets, omelets, and pancakes are huge. Most are $8.99 or less, serving from 7 a.m. Try the Tuesday all-you-can-eat Mexican buffet for $9.99. The Mine Shaft in beautiful downtown Hartford, just off the interstate in Oshkosh, right near EAA. Walk on in. MineshaftRestaurant.com, my place to go for big food and big fun.
The most common reason pain sufferers come to us is to be able to perform their daily tasks without suffering through them. Grandparents who want to be able to take their grandkids on walks and to the park. Or those that just want to be able to get out of their vehicle with more ease than pain. Rejuvenex pain treatments can help, and the sooner you get to calming down that pain, the better it will be. These are powerful, FDA-approved pain treatments precisely administered with an extremely small needle to get to the root of your pain. And before you know it, you'll feel the anti-inflammatory power of Toradol and the cushioning relief of hyaluronic acid. Positive patient results are regularities, not rarities. And we do this conveniently in office, so it's very easy for you. And we're in network with most insurance plans, including Medicare and Medicaid, which could mean zero out-of-pocket costs for your pain relief treatment. Go to Rejuvenex.com to request your free pain evaluation.
Built Right Furniture, Leather, and Mattress.
You gotta get to Built Right today.
The crew are out in Colorado to hit that Rocky Mountain high.
1-2 pitch, high fly ball, left field, inside the pole, gone, Jackson Churio.
Our Brewers Rockies coverage starts tonight at 7:05 on your home for the Milwaukee Brewers. News Radio 620, WTMJ, Milwaukee.
At 101, it's 35 degrees, on our way up to 40, increasing clouds tonight, and a low of 31. From the WTMJ Breaking Newsroom, I'm Greg Matzik.
Part 1 crime is down 12%. Non-fatal shootings decrease 15%. Carjackings decrease 12%. These are good trends. They should be recognized.
That's Milwaukee County Police Chief Jeffrey Norman detailing crime data from the first few months of 2025. Part 1 crimes are forms of violent crimes in the city, including aggravated assaults, arson, and carjackings. But the most alarming trends were the slight increase in homicides and a 50% increase in human trafficking compared to 2024. Happening in West Dallas.
Do you admit or deny any or all of those counts?
Deny.
That's Neil Stefik, owner of the West Dallas bar, The Drunk Uncle. At a West Dallas Common Council Public Safety Committee hearing, he denies the 7 misconduct allegations. Several women who visited the bar about a year ago say he was visibly intoxicated and made inappropriate sexual comments while lifting his shirt. Another group of women say Stefik berated and threatened to shoot and kill them. Stefik is already at risk of losing his liquor license due to unpaid sales taxes. He's also facing a defamation lawsuit over his response to a 1-star review. The U.S. Supreme Court reverses a decision by a lower federal court, paving the way for the Trump administration to move ahead with the firings of probationary federal workers.
The judges basically at the lower court never questioned the government's power to fire these workers. It was just how it was done. But the Supreme Court today said actually these labor unions don't have standing to even take on that challenge. They said that these groups had not shown enough evidence that they are directly harmed to be able to bring this case. And so for now, even as the litigation moves forward, these workers will be off the job effective immediately going forward.
It's the third time in less than a week that the justices have sided with the administration in its fight against federal judges. And a new milestone in the Texas measles outbreak.
Texas has now confirmed over 500 measles cases in a little more than 2 months. The vast majority of the 505 confirmed cases are in Gaines County. That's the West Texas county where Health Secretary Robert Kennedy visited over the weekend. He attended the funeral for a second young child who died of measles. All but 10 of the Texas cases were in people who were unvaccinated or had an unknown vaccination status. The state also reports 57 hospitalizations. Brian Clark, ABC News.
Time for news about your money in the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Slight reprieve here as all the indices are in the green this afternoon, with the Dow up a little less than 300 points at 38,523. S&P 500 up about 20 today at 5,082. NASDAQ is up about 50 at 15,654. Annex Wealth Management. Know the difference. Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Outdoor Living Unlimited. WTMJ News Time is 1:04.
Brewers baseball is here. Time to pick your Brewers games and get back to the ballpark for tailgate traditions and walk-off wins. Don't miss any of the big games or the superstars. And come back for the best giveaways. Where else would you want to be? Brewers tickets for the 2025 season are on sale now. That's every game all summer long. Get on board for the show today. Grab your seats at brewers.com/ticket finder.
WTMJ's Vince Vitrano talking with Dr. Mike Nolte at Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. Doc, a lot of people are hesitant to visit a surgeon for spine care.
The good news is that the vast majority of patients that I see and the majority of conditions that I can see can be successfully treated without surgery. And I don't want patients to think that just because you're seeing a spine surgeon means that you're going to be signing up for surgery. We talk about in my clinic kind of a plan A, a plan B, and a plan C.
Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin, there is a difference. orthowisconsin.com.
It's Gina Della. You've heard me define what makes Pella Windows and Doors different. Let me introduce you to the woman behind the billboards, commercials, and share my extraordinary journey of resilience, reinvention, and shattering glass ceilings every Saturday morning at 6:30 on 620 WTMJ and anywhere you stream podcasts for What's the Difference with Gina Della to discuss business coaching across all industries, featuring successful executives, entrepreneurs, and mentors along the way. This is a story you won't want to miss.
I know you have a great dog, right? But you know there's room for improvement. At Sit Means Sit Dog Training, we can help. Our attention-based training system uses modern technology to help you better communicate with your dog, even in high distraction. When you schedule a free consultation with us, you will have the opportunity to see our training in action and meet for yourself our happy dogs off leash and under control. Contact Sit Means Sit today at 262-361-3641 or find us on the web at sitmeansitwaukesha.com to schedule your free consultation so you can have a happy, confident, and obedient dog.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports desk. It's the Brewers and Rockies tonight, game one of a three-game series in Denver. Pat Murphy's team 5-5, but getting by due to a rash of injuries.
Nobody could plan on this many injuries. I mean, this is 10 pitching injuries to significant guys, and you just can't plan for that. Some of them are coming back. That'll be helpful, but we got to hang on tight until that happens.
Coverage of tonight's game begins at 7:05 at WTMJ. And just 4 games remain on the Bucs' regular season schedule, including tonight against the Minnesota Timberwolves. Bucs forward Bobby Portis eligible to return following a 25-game suspension. Here tonight's game on 94.5 ESPN at 7 o'clock. Taking a look at your roads, a WTMJ Time Saver traffic update. Eastbound 94, the ramp at Moreland Road. The right shoulder is blocked due to a disabled vehicle. It is in the grass, as a matter of fact, off to the side. So the shoulder is open, as are the lanes. Light volume, just a car off to the side of the road, and that area blocked on the right shoulder due to a disabled vehicle. Otherwise, you're moving around freely on the system. Light volume this afternoon.
I'm Brett Matchke, and you're due for service.
Richlawns Tire and Service Centers. 5 locations and all easy to find. Visit richlawns.com when you're due for service.
Sunny skies, clouds on the increase later tonight, and a low of 31 after a high of 40. Could see some rain and a little bit of snow on Wednesday with a high of 42 degrees. Right now in Madison, it's 37, Green Bay 36, Waukesha 39, 36 at the Avenue. I'm Greg Matzik. Outdoor Living Unlimited. WTMJ News Time is 1:08.
65,498 square miles. We've got a lot to cover, so let's get to it. This is Spanning the State. Here's your host, Kristin Brey.
Good afternoon. Happy Tuesday. And I was going through the show plan for today, and shockingly, big basketball show. Was not on purpose. Didn't set out to have a big basketball show the day after the NCAA tournament was done. But indeed, Ben Brust is going to join us at 1:45 to talk about the 2015 Wisconsin basketball reunion that's happening in June. I made the mistake that I guess he said happens to him a lot, of people forgetting that he was on the 2014 team, which is the team that I did go to the Final Four that year in Dallas and saw him play. But he was not on the team that made it to the championship game in 2015. But he is hosting that event. He is moderating the event that's coming up in June. So he's going to join us to talk about that. And maybe if we have time, he and I can exchange some safe for work Bo Ryan stories, because there's plenty of them that are not safe for work. Then at 2:35, Joa Tucker is going to be here. So Joa was on the UWM basketball team 20 years ago that made it to the Panthers' first and only Sweet 16 run. He was also, my brother walked on that team, so he knows my brother. But he now has launched the Panther Future Fund, which is a modest NIL collective that is vital to giving UWM some kind of chance to continue to be competitive with this new world of the portal and NIL deals and the money that has been infused into college sports. So I'm looking forward to talking to Joa. Bobby Portis is back tonight, which everyone I'm sure is very excited about. I have a Bobby story that I was reminded of that I'm going to share. I'm going to see. I think it's a superstitious thing, and I don't know, because Rhea, you used to work for the Bucks.
Yep, used to dance, shake a leg.
And so I'm wondering if you know this thing that he and Brooke do.
Ooh, possibly.
Possibly. So we're going to talk about that later. And big news for Kristin Brey. Big news. Never happened before. In all the years of March Madness and NCAA tournaments and filling out brackets, and some years spending a lot of time on those brackets, never winning. Never have I won until now. I finally, so in my dad's side of the family, of which I think all in, there's 36 of us, between aunts, uncles, my grandma, cousins spouses, cousins' kids now. Like, there's a lot of us. And for over, 15, going on 15 years, we've been doing there's no money involved. There's no actual money involved, but we've all been doing a annual bracket, and I have never won that thing. I've gotten close. I have gotten the toilet bowl, because there's no money, but whoever loses gets their name on an actual lid to a toilet, and you get to hold on to the toilet for the year. And then the winner of the whole thing gets their name on a ball that also rotates winners' houses. And so I have been on the toilet bowl, and now I am also in that rare breed that will have their name both on the ball and the toilet bowl. But I was very excited. I don't care. I do care. It's fun. But what everyone's very excited about is that my brother didn't win. I got a text from my uncle this morning being like, I think everyone's pretty relieved that you pulled this one out and we didn't have to deal with your brother bragging about it all year, because he certainly would have. But yes, so if you also won your bracket, congratulations. It is it's one of those things that's kind of a weird bragging rights, especially when you don't spend that much time on it, because there just is so much luck involved. But anyways, yeah. So another year of college basketball done, and we'll head into the NBA playoffs soon. And so yeah, there you go.
Go sports.
Go sports. Go sports ball. All right, but we have other things besides basketball to talk about today, and much more serious things to talk about than basketball today. So yesterday, this week it's been reported that nearly 300 students nationwide had been notified about their visas being canceled. And now, as of yesterday, You can add another 13 international students to that list who were or had attended UW-Madison. So the university released a statement yesterday that said, quote, as of Monday morning, April 7th, the terminations affect 6 current students and 7 alumni on employment extensions. A status termination generally means that an affected individual should depart the United States immediately. So when we come back, we are going to talk to Journal Sentinel higher education reporter Kelly Meyerhofer on what we know, what we don't know about these visa terminations, and what it means for students who want to study here. So stay with us on Spanning the State.
A whole day dedicated to us?
No, dedicated to you, the WTMJ fan.
Come celebrate WTMJ with us, your favorite WTMJ host, at a private tailgate at the Brewers game Saturday, May 17th.
Enjoy food, drinks, and hanging out with us. Plus tickets to the Brewers game as they take on the Twins at AmFam Field.
Get more information and secure your tickets at WTMJday.com.
Tickets will go fast, so sign up today.
We'll see you at the ballpark for WTMJ Day, Saturday, May 17th.
Look what I found.
What is it?
It's a list of the traditional and modern anniversary gifts for each year of marriage.
Sarah and I use a different list. But go ahead and tell us about yours.
The traditional gift for your first anniversary is paper, but the modern gift is a clock.
Well, our list says the first anniversary is always diamond jewelry.
What's your list called?
The People's Choice.
The traditional gift for your 6th anniversary is iron, but the modern gift is wood.
What a coincidence. For the 6th anniversary, our list says diamonds again. What do you have for the 10th anniversary, Rick?
Traditional is aluminum, modern is diamond jewelry.
Well, there you go. Our lists agree. What have you got for the 7th anniversary?
Copper and a desk set.
Nope. Diamonds again.
I'm beginning to see the wisdom of the People's Choice list.
It's good to have you on board.
Can I ask you something?
Sure.
Did you make up that People's Choice list, or is it real?
Well, we're people, aren't we?
Find the Kesslers nearest you at KesslersDiamonds.com.
There's a winning magic powering up at Potawatomi Casino Hotel, Milwaukee. This April, prepare for an exciting quest to $300,000 in the Enchanted Spin Slot Tournament. Just conjure your rewards card and play slots to earn drawing entries. Each Thursday, 60 winners will compete for thousands in cash and prizes. Let your journey begin with Enchanted Spins, only at Potawatomi. More info online. Must be 21 and a rewards member to play.
Welcome back to Spanning the State. I am Kristin Brey, and yesterday it was announced that the Trump administration has revoked the student visas of 13 current or former University of Wisconsin-Madison students. And so here to talk through what we know so far is Kelly Meyerhofer, the higher education reporter for the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel. Welcome back to the show, Kelly.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
So I guess, what do we know why the Trump administration revoked the visas of these 13 people?
No, the UW has said that the reasons are unclear to them. I've reached out to the White House, which directed me to the State Department, which has not responded to my requests. But speaking broadly, what we're seeing nationally, some of the students who have had their visa terminated has been related to their involvement in campus protests. But for a lot of others, it's because they were, had minor like traffic or speeding violations, something like that sort of flagged them in the system.
Because you wrote about this morning. So the New York Times said as of yesterday there was 300 students. So is this 13 part of that count?
It's unclear. I mean, it's sort of, I was talking to someone and they said it's sort of like COVID, where it's like, we don't know exactly how many cases because the numbers keep changing. I mean, just a few minutes ago, I got an email from the UW system and they, I was asking other UW universities if they had any visas terminated for their students because, they also have international students. And he says, we are aware of visa terminations other than those at UW-Madison, but they didn't have an immediate number or which campuses, so it's a very fluid situation and we're trying to figure it out.
So, because there's 8,000 students at Madison that are on student visas?
There's 8,000 international students at Madison. They have the biggest international student population of any university in Wisconsin. But there are, UWM has, I think, a couple thousand international students. And I'm sure there's, dozens or a couple hundred maybe at other universities.
So do we know anything about, besides the fact that there's 6 that are current students and 7 that were alumni that are on extensions, do we know anything else about these 13 people?
I don't. I mean, I'm still trying to report that out. It's tricky to report. A lot of them, don't want to talk or draw attention to their case. I did read this. The Guardian had a story that quoted a international student at UW-Madison who was going by a pseudonym in the story due to concerns she had about retaliation.
Mm-hmm.
And she said that she believes she was flagged because about a year ago she was driving home and got 2 speeding tickets, one for speeding and one for failing to stop. And so to get the charges dismissed, she showed up in court and she was fingerprinted there. And she thinks that's what led to her getting flagged in the system.
So what happens when a student's visa is terminated?
Yeah, I mean, the email from the State Department says they must leave the U.S. and self-deport immediately. I mean, students, I guess, could stay, but then they risk arrest. Yeah. Nationally, there's been some students who have left, others have not. It's sort of a case-by-case situation.
And is there legal recourse that students have? Do we know, are any students trying to hire lawyers and try to find a way to stay?
A lot of the students in these cases that have been written about nationally, have lawyers, they're working with lawyers, and they're trying to appeal that. I haven't gotten in touch with any of the UW students or their attorneys to see what the specifics on their case and how they're planning to fight it, if they're planning to fight it at all.
So one of the things I was thinking about is, like we said, there's about 8,000 students who are international students at UW-Madison. A lot of universities rely, I don't know if maybe you can tell me if you think rely is the right word to use, but the cost of tuition for an international student is very different than an in-state student. Have you spoken to anyone who's concerned about, one, more students having their visas terminated for undefined reasons, or 2, the deterrent this creates of international students wanting to study in the U.S.?
Yeah, a lot of international sort of education advocates have talked about how these deportations, might sound like a small number, 300 nationally, when there's thousands, of students at UW alone. It sounds like a small number, but it can have a chilling effect. And I think one of the student newspapers at UW reported on a meeting where faculty were asking some, academic officials about are you concerned about, our international student applications going down? I mean, this may deter students from even wanting to apply to study in the U.S. And that's what advocates fear. We saw that sort of during COVID, that fewer international students wanted to move overseas and study here, and we could be facing the same sort of situation here under, slightly different circumstances.
So as far as follow-ups for this story, what answers are you trying to get, or what do you think you can get?
I mean, I would love to, talk to any of the students or their attorneys and get more specifics about why these students in particular were targeted and whether they're planning to fight it or they are hoping to stay here under the radar or go home. I think also, just longer term, like we were just talking about, looking at the international student populations at these universities, is there going to be a dip? I mean, that would certainly affect the university's bottom lines, but it would also just affect the campus community. 8,000 students at UW-Madison it's a significant population, and if that were to shrink, it would change the dynamic on campus.
I mean, 8,000 students is as big as some liberal arts colleges. I mean, it's a lot of people.
Yeah.
Absolutely. All right. Well, Kelly Meyerhofer, thank you so much for reporting on this and spending time with us today.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
She is the higher education reporter for the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel. We'll be back with more after this.
You should be listening to Wisconsin's Midday News each weekday from 11 to 1.
Bucks president Peter Feigin joins us live here in the studio right now.
But if you missed us, catch up anytime with Greg Matzik and Jessica Ty by listening to the Wisconsin's Midday News Podcast.
What you're seeing now is like the reality of, playing a season together, kind of, getting to know each other.
Powered by Siding Unlimited, siding, and a whole lot more.
Don't forget, take us with you wherever you go. We'd love to have you with us.
I've got a fantastic trip that I'm planning right now. I'd love for you to be with us. It's America's Music Cities for the holidays. It's early December. It's an 8-day tour of some great spots. New Orleans, Memphis, and Nashville. Check out New Orleans, the vibrant French Quarter, all decked out for the holidays. Then we're on to the amazing city of Memphis, Elvis Presley's Graceland. It is going to look absolutely fantastic. On to Nashville, we make chocolate, take a horse-drawn carriage ride, and we stay at the magical Opryland Resort. It's with Colette, the travel company I trust. We'll handle all the details for you: flights, meals, hotels, local experiences. I'm going to be there. I want you to be with us. Send me an email. I send you the information. John@WTMJ.com. John@WTMJ.com. Space is limited. We'll discover America's musical legacy wrapped in dazzling lights and seasonal decor. Let me get you the info. I'd love for you to be with us. John, John, at WTMJ.com. It's America's Music Cities with Colette, the travel company I trust.
Burkhardt Sporting Goods has a great reputation for producing custom team apparel. We're total team outfitters and we can handle the biggest jobs. Our success in custom team apparel led us into group and corporate apparel. Plus, we have a full selection of promotional products for employee gifts, special events, you name it. And we've made it easy for our customers to firm up their orders. The group sale web stores that we build for our customers are a simple way of gathering all the information you need. They're easy to work, easy to understand, and with them you'll have access to nearly limitless options. We've seen that most times we're better priced than our competition on the same high-quality apparel choices that the other guys offer. Plus Nike and Under Armour choices that the other guys can't get. And we offer a huge brand selection from Yeti, North Face, and Carhartt too. This is Brian Burkhardt. For team, group, or corporate custom outfitting and promotional products, it's going to be really hard to beat our prices, selection, and ease of buying for any size budget and every size company. And that's why we always say, you can't beat Burkhardt. New Berlin and Fox Point.
Football fans, Verizon is giving you the chance to win the ultimate draft experience with the Road to the Draft sweepstakes. 10 lucky winners will win tickets to the first day of the 2025 draft in Green Bay, including round-trip car service from Milwaukee, hotel accommodations, plus access to the Verizon viewing zone. Don't miss your chance to win the ultimate draft experience powered by Verizon. Hurry to select Wisconsin Verizon locations to enter by April 13th. No purchase necessary to enter. Must be legal U.S. resident of Wisconsin or Illinois, age 21 years or older to enter. Void where prohibited. For official rules and full details, visit www.espnwisconsincontest.com.
Welcome back to Spanning the State. I am Kristin Brey, and we were just talking to Kelly Meyerhofer, who is the higher education reporter for the Journal-Sentinel, about the 13 international students, 6 who are current, 7 who are alumni, who are here on extension, so here legally, who got their visas revoked, and now with that are being asked to self-deport immediately. And I was reading this the other day from a journalist that I really like. He writes a newsletter and has an independent media outlet called Tangle, Isaac Saul. And he wrote a piece talking about how due process matters. And he used a very low stakes example from his personal life. But, you know, I've had similar things happen to me when you get accused of being something or, you know, things that you've done, things that you've said that you haven't, and that in some kind of public forum on a Reddit thread or the internet, people start claiming things about you and how awful that feels. And the fact that especially when you have no way to fight back except say that, well, this is not true and you have to prove it, and how, you know, even in lower stakes like that, when you have nothing really at threat besides your reputation, it feels like it matters to be able to say the truth and be able to have your sometimes metaphorical day in court, but actually have your day in court. And I think about it with these visas being just revoked, and all of a sudden you think you're studying, you think that you're working towards a life, you think you're following the rules, and everything changes. And I certainly think about it in the news that we got yesterday from the Supreme Court when it comes to who got sent to El Salvador. And so I know we've been reporting it on the news, but the Supreme Court cleared the way for the Trump administration to restart deportations of Venezuelan migrants with alleged gang ties. So in a 5-4 decision, the court overturned a lower ruling that temporarily blocked the removals, but they did add a caveat. They basically said that detainees must be given due process. So that part is, already under scrutiny. So one man that I think this is the guy who's probably gotten the most attention so far. I know Joe Specky on Political Power Hour on Friday had a pretty scathing monologue about this, but Kilmar Armando Abrego Garcia was deported to El Salvador last month without ever seeing a judge, which immigration officials admitted was a, quote, administrative error. He had protected legal status and no criminal record, and now is being held in a notorious mega prison. And I don't know if you've seen some of the images that have come out, but it's bad. It's really bad. And so his lawyers have denied that he had any gang ties, and the Justice Department hasn't provided any evidence linking him to one. But the administration has signaled that they have no plans to bring him back, even as the Supreme Court debates whether they're required to. And so I just wanted to read the dissent from Justice Sotomayor from the decision yesterday, that I think even if you agree that it is up to the president and to decide who is and who is not here, this was the quote that she had in her dissent. The government takes the position that even when it makes a mistake, it cannot retrieve individuals from the Salvadorian prisons to which it has sent them. The implication of the government's position is that not only non-citizens, but also United States citizens could be taken off the streets, forced onto planes, and confined to foreign prisons with no opportunity for redress if judicial review is denied unlawfully before removal. So, is that where we're headed? I don't know, but certainly something to at least know what's happening. All right, ABC News and local headlines are next.
This is a special report from ABC News. I'm Michelle Franzen. Tariff troubles still looming despite a brief rally on Wall Street today. President Trump's tariffs ramping up at the same time his administration is signaling they're also open to talks. The White House pushing back on criticism that the president's next phase, reciprocal tariffs on China and other countries, puts America's economy in the crosshairs. Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt says it follows talks with his top aides.
He believes that China wants to make a deal with the United States. He believes China has to make a deal with the United States. It was a mistake for China to retaliate. The president, when America is punched, he punches back harder. That's why there will be 104% tariffs going into effect.
KPMG chief economist Diane Swonk says the wide swings on the markets could do more harm than good.
All of this uncertainty is certainly a characteristic of this administration, and they think it plays to their strengths, but it does have consequences.
This is ABC News.
Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time is 1:31. I'm Adam Roberts. Milwaukee police reporting the first crime data of 2025. Part 1 crimes or forms of violence in the city, including aggravated assaults, arson, and carjackings, those are down. There was a slight increase in homicides as well as a 50% increase in human trafficking in the city compared to 2024. A Whitefish Bay preschool teaching assistant now charged with possession of child pornography. 21-year-old Nicholas Otero immediately suspended without pay from his job at Ganymede Early Childhood Education in the community. Jewish Community Center says in a letter to parents the suspect did not create any child porn and that no photos or images of the children or staff in the program were found. And Neil Stefek, owner of the West Dallas bar The Drunk Uncle, is denying all 7 misconduct allegations levied against him. Several women who visited the bar around a year ago say he was visibly intoxicated, making inappropriate comments while lifting his shirt. Another group saying Stefek berated and threatened to shoot and kill them. The man already facing losing his liquor license due to unpaid sales taxes and a defamation lawsuit over his response to a 1-star Google review. Time now for news about your money, the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update at this hour. A lot of the early gains we saw from the big three have been largely lost, though the Dow and S&P 500 are still in the green this afternoon. The Dow up about 0.5%, 213 points at 38,179, while the S&P 500 is up just 7 at 5,070. The Nasdaq, meanwhile, is back in the red, down 5 points at 15,597. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com. Checking the roads now, your WTMJ Johnson & Sons paving time saver traffic. Going over the maps, our one incident remains just that broken down vehicle that's been stuck around 94 East near Moreland on the right shoulder. Everywhere else is looking great this hour. No incidents or delays. And your WTMJ forecast, reaching a high of 40 today under sunny skies, but albeit cold conditions, clouds on the increase then tonight with a low down to 31. Watching for some possible rain and snow on your Wednesday, a high of 41. Could linger into early Thursday, a high of 42. Mostly sunny Friday and 46. Sun on Saturday and a high of 52 degrees. Right now in Lake Mills, it's sunny and 40. In Brookfield, sunny skies and 38. And in Milwaukee, sunny conditions and 37 degrees. I'm Adam Roberts, Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Times 134.
Ooh, ma. What was that? That is business phone bliss with the Ooma Cloud phone system. It handles all our voice, video, and messaging needs.
You sound very...
Calm, I am. Ooma has everything I need to run my business more efficiently, like virtual receptionist, call routing, and video conferencing. And it starts at just $19.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees.
Ooma.
Nice. Find your business comm at ooma.com/radio.
What if your limited inventory had unlimited potential? What if your biggest risk was not taking one? What if you could make every move matter? Bank of America's business solutions can help bring your biggest what-ifs within reach. Find out how our digital tools, cutting-edge insights, and trusted expertise can work for your business. What would you like the power to do? Visit bankofamerica.com/banking for business to learn more. Bank of America is proud to be the official bank sponsor of FIFA World Cup 2026.
This is Matt Meitner, owner of Sit Means Sit Dog Training. Do you find yourself talking to your dog but feel like she's not listening to you?
Bella, sit!
Are you constantly repeating yourself but she's not following your directions?
Sit! Sit!
Frustrating, isn't it? At Sit Means Sit Dog Training, we want to help you have a happy, confident, and obedient dog, and we also want to make the training process an enjoyable and worthwhile experience. Contact Sit Means Sit today to schedule a free consultation so we can create a customized training program so you are able to have the dog you want and deserve.
Sit Means Sit Dog Training. Sorry, we don't train husbands, wives, or kids.
Hey, Gina, did you hear about the draft?
Wayne, there's no draft at Pella.
There's definitely a draft. Right, Wildy? Yeah, everybody's talking about it.
Pella windows are constructed of the highest quality. No drafts. But Pella should be everyone's #1 pick because right now at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, get no interest financing options or free glass upgrades.
So where is the draft?
Coon. Visit PellaWI.com today.
Certain restrictions apply in 4/30/2025.
Get your rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval to buy at ACCUNET.com.
It's time for Giving Tuesday, where we introduce you to Wisconsin people and organizations that are advocating for causes and doing good across the state. Well, when you think of college students, is that the group that you think of when you think of people who are struggling with food insecurity or, having better access to nutritious meals? And so would it surprise you to find out that 47% of students deal with some sort of food insecurity? I guess when you really think about it, maybe it doesn't surprise you, but Kristin O'Brien is in her third year as a student at UW-Eau Claire, and she is the student director with the Student Office of Sustainability, and she is now piloting a project where she is seeking to reduce food insecurity for students at UW-Eau Claire. So she is joining us now on the phone. Welcome to the show, Kristin.
Hi, thanks for having me.
So was this something that you knew going into school, or how did you even start to become aware that this is a problem?
So going into school, it's definitely something that you don't really think about until you're there. I've been lucky enough where it hasn't been a major issue for me, but when you're in college, in the residence halls, you're surrounded by people who come from all different walks of life, and you realize that this is an issue that a lot of people face. So I really, like you mentioned in the intro, just didn't realize how many people this affected, especially people in college, until I was here and started noticing the large group that it impacted.
So is it like because I now have to go back to thinking about college and when you're, freshman in the dorms and like there's food plans, right? And is it that the food plans themselves are really expensive?
Not necessarily. It's more so just the accessibility of those food plans. Some campuses, I know some struggles that we have had is when the dining hall is open. Perhaps they aren't open very late at night where students are still at school or working if they have a job, and they also have very limited hours on the weekends. So it's really just if you are in the category of people where that doesn't work for you, you kind of are struggling and have to find your own way to get food.
Got it. And then, is there very many grocery stores or anything like that on campus?
Not very. Luckily, Eau Claire does have a bus system, so there's an option to utilize that. But right around the university is a bit of a food desert where we have one on-campus kind of shop called the Tea Store where students are able to utilize their dining dollars to get groceries, which is a really nice, great opportunity. But that too has the same issues as our dining halls where it has very limited hours. And so if that's not open and the dining hall is not open, students are left kind of stranded.
Got it. Okay. So you're piloting this food recovery program. How does it work?
So essentially, we're working on two right now. One of them is, we call it the food recovery program. And this is when our dining halls, when they cook more food than gets brought out to students in the cafeteria, they leave it in the refrigerators for us, a student intern, as well as a pool of volunteers who will then go repackage that food in compostable containers. And we will label it with what types of food, possible allergens, and then we will bring that down to our lower campus building where we have an on-campus food pantry called the Campus Harvest Food Pantry. So all those meals will be placed into those freezers, which can then be given to students for free for those who choose to utilize the food pantry on campus.
Very cool. And so what's the other program?
The other program is called Free Food Alert, which is very exciting. It is essentially a mobile app that allows people who work for universities to sign up as hosts who can then, if they have a catered event where they put in the order for food and after the event there's a bunch of leftover food, they can fill out a form explaining what food there is, where it is, how much, how long they'll be there, like 10, 15 minutes. And then they can send out a notification via email and push notification for anybody who has the app to all students who are signed up. So then all of this food from leftover catered events can then be given to students to eat or pack to bring up to their dorm to eat later instead of all of this food being thrown away. And so both of these programs do a really great job at, one, giving students access to these free good foods and also reducing so much food waste possibilities that we have here on our college campus, but also all college campuses.
Well, and that's one of the things. I used to work in a company that there was free lunch every day. This was when I was working in Silicon Valley. And I could never wrap my head around how much food waste there was. But aren't there certain rules as far as being able to, what health precautions do you have to do as far as being able to, safely repackage the food instead of, so often I think food just has to get thrown away because of health departments, right?
Oh, absolutely. So that's why, of course, we're a university, so the number one priority is the well-being of students. And so for our food recovery program, all the food that is repackaged has to be within a window of time where it was cooked. We also only take food that hadn't been introduced to the warmers where students serve themselves the food. That we are not able to repackage. It is only the food that was prepared, cooked, but not given out to students at all. And so that is what we use. And then in the packaging methods, we go by serve safe guidelines, making sure that everything is clean and safe and packaged correctly. And then when we give it to the food pantry, they are all put in freezers labeled with correct cooking instructions.
Yeah.
And so if they were to go bad, if they were to stay in the freezer beyond a certain period of time, we would then throw them away. But because this is something that there is such a need for, they have been flying off of the shelves in the food pantry, and we haven't faced that issue yet. And with Free Food Alert, that is safe because it's just the last 10 to 15 minutes after an event. It is no different than people eating the food at the event. It is not dealing with any of the other, like if it's been left out for a bunch of time, no, this is directly after an event, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, totally. And so I guess you just said it's flying off the shelves. And so what has the reaction been and the impact been?
Yeah, so because of this, since it's only been one pilot semester, we don't have a bunch of necessarily numerical data yet, but especially because our food pantry is also fully anonymous, students don't have to disclose any personal information, anything like that. But I can say that our food pantry has, I think it's about 500 individual users that use the food pantry, and every time that we have dropped off a load of these repackaged meals, like I said, we haven't had to throw away any yet.
Yeah.
Whenever there's a lull in packaging, like the freezers are empty. And I have gotten student feedback just talking about how much they love it, having these pre-packaged meals that they can just like stick in the oven, cook to a good internal temperature, and then eat has been super helpful and super nice. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to wrap it up because this is a brilliant idea. It's super innovative, and I hope other universities are listening because it's very much feels like two birds with one stone as far as not throwing away a lot of food that could still go feed some more people. So, Kristin, thank you so much for joining us today.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Kristin O'Brien is a third-year student at UW Eau Claire, where she is piloting a food recovery program that sounds like it's pretty successful. So stay tuned. We'll have more with Ben Brust on the other side of this.
If you know of a Wisconsin organization you would like highlighted on Giving Tuesday, email us at spanning@wtmj.com. We can always use a little help from our
Your nose is for breathing. Your mouth is for eating. And if you're breathing through your mouth, it's not because your body wants to. It's because it has to, because your nose isn't working properly. And although you've lived like this, it's no way to live, and it's having a significant impact on your life. I know you know this, and I know that taking action isn't always convenient. But at Advent, we've done all we can to make changing your life for the better as easy as possible. I'm Dr. Madan Kandula. With tens of thousands of our patients, a thorough breathing triangle evaluation, along with a simple 20-minute in-office procedure called balloon sinuplasty, has opened their nasal passages, allowing them to breathe freely through their nose for good. And there's a good chance this procedure can do the same for you. We'll help you breathe through your nose again, and it will change your life.
Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better. Results may vary. Most insurance accepted.
Since 1964, we've changed your tires and so much more. Richland's Tire and Service, such a refreshing change. Richland's.
Hi, I'm Tony Drake from Drake & Associates. If you save for retirement in a 401k or IRA, let me ask you, do you know how much of that money is actually yours? Or will taxes take a bigger bite than you expected? Right now, taxes are historically low, but with growing national debt and government spending, do you think they'll really stay that way? Many retirees are shocked to realize the IRS might be one of the biggest expenses in retirement. Here's the good news. You do have options. Smart tax strategies can help you keep more of your hard-earned money instead of handing it over to Uncle Sam. At Drake & Associates, we help our clients create tax-efficient retirement income plans so they can enjoy their wealth instead of worrying about it running out. And here's the catch. These strategies work best when you plan ahead. That's why I'm offering you a free retirement toolkit and a copy of my book, Get Retirement Ready, to help you understand how taxes could impact your retirement and what you can do about it. Text TAX to 414-897-9522 right now to claim your free copy while supplies last. The longer you wait, the fewer options you may have. Take control of your retirement today. Text TAX to 414-897-9522. Drake and Associates, helping you keep more of what you've earned.
Drake & Associates LLC is an independent investment advisory firm that offers a variety of different investment vehicles. This commercial is provided for informational purposes only and should not be construed as individual investment advice. Drake & Associates LLC does not provide legal or tax advice. Past performance is not indicative of future performance.
I said it was going to be a big basketball show, so here we go. I was already talking about I won my family bracket.
Oh, wow.
Ben, I'm very...
Did you have Florida?
I had Florida. I forgot the other big ones that... I think the big difference was Houston beating Duke, because I was saying that the fact that I won and my brother got second, and everyone, all my cousins and aunts and uncles are very happy that I won and my brother didn't, because we would react differently.
Yeah, I didn't do so well, and when I don't, I'm like,
Have you won a pool before?
Yeah, so I won one in like 2016. One of our hosts of a sister station of ours, ESPN 1000 at Good Karma Brands, Mark Silverman, Sylvie. I got to know him growing up in the Chicagoland area, and his wife's mom, for some reason, because I knew their family, was like, hey, have Ben fill it out. And then I won the first year I filled it out for her, not for me.
Okay.
I didn't win mine. She won. And then every year the bracket comes out and I print one out and I'm like, send a picture. Here it is for grandma.
Nice.
Other than that, I stink at it.
Right? That's what's always funny to me is the people who know basketball the best in my life rarely ever win.
Yeah, because you watch it and you think like, oh, I've seen this team all year. They're going to be awesome in the tournament. And then it's one and done. That's the magic of the fun. Now, it
Although
was
not
the
this
first
year.
time since 2008 there was 4 1 seeds. So if you were very chalky, as they say, and just like the top seeds to win, you probably did well.
Yeah, absolutely.
My dad called me. He's like, I won. I had Florida and Houston. I'm like, I kind of like watch every game all season. I didn't get close to that. And so it's just crazy how that works.
I know. All right. Well, speaking of March Madness, it's been 11 years since you made it to the Final Four.
Correct.
It's been 10 years since the Badgers made it to the championship. And has the time just flown by, or does it still feel like yesterday?
Oh, it's now to the point where like it does start to feel a little bit further removed because of where all of my former teammates are in life, right? Like I'm
And
getting
you.
married in August, and the opportunity to have Frank Kaminsky, who was the National Player of the Year in 2015 and my teammate for 3 years, Josh Gosser, who was my roommate for 3 years and standing up at my wedding as well, like getting us all together in the bachelor party and for the wedding is going to be great. But we also came up with an idea here with our company to do something special for the 2015 team, because as much as I felt really proud to be a part of the foundation and get to the Final Four for the first time for Bo Ryan in 2014, the 15 team beat 38-0 Kentucky, lost to Duke in the title game. We could relive those moments of how the ball was touched by Justice Winslow's hand and they looked at a replay, still didn't call it the Badgers' way. All of that. The thing that's really interesting in the world of college basketball right now is it's really pay for play. It is. Like there's no rules on it. And so there's a little bit of a lack of building relationships with the players as a fan, right? When you grew up watching the Badgers or your favorite team, somebody might come in as a freshman, maybe not play. Then they play a little bit as a sophomore and you get to know them. Then they make developments and play as a junior and then as a senior, and you kind of cover their story arc as a fan of the team.
Well, think about Frank, right?
Exactly.
Like where Frank was as a freshman versus where he was when he
He
graduated.
got poked in the eyes his sophomore year, and he wore goggles and looked like a goof, and then became the National Player of the Year.
Yeah.
So really the idea here is to get everyone together to celebrate the team, right?
Yeah.
And I know people love the on-court stories, but what people really seem to enjoy in 2015 for the Wisconsin Badgers is the off-the-court personalities. They were a really tight-knit group, carried that over from 14 and got even closer, and then there was success on the floor. So to get all of them in the same room, so we're going to do an event, Made 'em Believe, because their mantra was Make 'em Believe in 2015. And it's going to be at the Orpheum in Madison on June 26th from 7 p to 9 p.
Nice.
So you can get your tickets. It's going to be a live event. I'll be hosting it with a lot of my former teammates, Josh Gosser, Sam Decker, Frank Kaminsky, Bo Ryan will be there.
Bo's going to come.
Bo is going to come.
All right.
I got it on his paper calendar, I'm sure, that he has in his home.
Kelly's taking care of it.
Yeah.
You talked to Kelly, not Bo.
I talked to Bo and at first, I got to check with Kelly to make sure we're free, So
they won't be in Palm Springs. They'll be back in
They won't be in
Wisconsin.
Palm Springs. They'll be in Wisconsin, and that is uwhoops2015.com.
All right, say it again.
uwhoops2015.com. $20.15 for your tickets.
Easy
peasy, lemon squeezy. And look, as the host, my job is just to pull the stories that I know that people don't, that are appropriate, obviously, for everyone involved. Because if you love the personalities, you're going to love them even more, because I know what I can dig out of each and every single one of them to create a wonderful experience with some of your favorite Badgers of all time.
Well, we'll be there. My dad will absolutely want to be there. Give the website one more time.
uwhoops2015.com, the Orpheum in Madison on June 26th. It's a Thursday night.
All right. Well, Ben Russ, you have a show to go do, so I'm going to let you go. But and everyone listening can go listen to his show at 3 after they're done listening to my show.
There it is.
All right,
Thank
Ben.
you.
Thank you so much. We'll be back with more after this.
I'm WTMJ's Sandy Max. What makes living at Three Pillars so special? Let's hear from my friend Lark.
I love the location, and that's the main reason Dave and I are there, is because of nature all around us. I knew when we moved in, I was leaving behind a lot of stress and responsibility. I decided now is the time to do what I want when I want to do it.
Schedule a tour today at threepillars.org.
Hi, this is Michelle Voskel, CPA and team member at the Neal Group. I have a question for you business owners. How do your books look? Are they ready for your tax return to be prepared? Did you and your accountant talk during the year and develop a plan to minimize your tax bill? Or does this sound like you? You can never get a hold of your CPA. Phone calls are not returned and questions are never answered. Your books are a mess and the bank account hasn't been reconciled since last year. You don't get any advice to help you run your business. That's not the case with the Neal Group. We are advocates and partners with our clients to help them grow. We like to work with you throughout the year to keep your books up to date so you run your business profitably. Are you ready to grow your business, improve cash flow, have less stress, and live a better life? We can help. Call us at 414-325-2040 or visit nealgroup.net to book a meeting and see if we can help. The first meeting is free. Don't wait, do it now. That's 414-325-2040 or nealgroup.net.
Find it, buy it, ride it.
Electric bikes, road bikes, cargo bikes, mountain bikes, kid bikes, hybrid bikes, all on display and ready to ride. This weekend during the Bike Expo sale.
Visit bikeexposale.com for details. Admission is free.
Hey, boaters!
Truly the best supplier around for all of our boating needs. This place is magic. I call it my candy store for boating parts. This is Dave Doro from Kendor Marine. And yeah, I said it, but these are the actual words of our satisfied and loyal customers. Boaters in the know exactly where to go, and there's a reason. We've got it all for our boater buddies. Kendor Marine, 57th and Ryan Road in Franklin.
Hey, boaters! Cruise to Kendor Marine. We got everything you need but the water. Hey, boaters!
Now, I wasn't eavesdropping. I just happened to overhear him talking about us. He said if you know what you're looking for, just rummage around. You'll find it. And it's true, because we stock more boat parts and accessories than anyone. Even those oddball parts you thought you'd never find. This is Dave Doro, and boaters in the know exactly where to go. Kendor Marine, 57th and Ryan Road in Franklin.
Hey, boaters! Cruise to Kendor Marine. We got everything you need but the water.
Staying active, essential for overall health. Proper medical support, essential for staying active. WTMJ's Vince Vitrano for Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. Whether it's keeping a weekend warrior like me on the tennis court or keeping young athletes in the game, you want the best in sports medicine, that's OAW. Surgeons, nurses, and physical therapists help you recover from injury, avoid injury in the future, and enhance performance. Get care 7 days a week. Walk right in at an Ortho ASAP clinic or book an appointment online at orthowisconsin.com.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
Don't think twice. Call Dice. A great way to add value and curb appeal to your home is with a new LiftMaster or CHI maintenance-free garage door. Hey, it's WTMJ's Greg Matzik. A study by Remodelers Magazine reports that the average return on investment is an amazing 82%. Garage doors rank first among all home improvement projects. To see Geiss's huge selection of doors, visit their showroom in Brookfield, or you can also visit their online showroom at geissdoors.com. Geiss has everything from alley doors to custom wood designer doors and everything in between. Remember, for all your garage door needs, you call Geiss at 262-784-4250. That number again, 262-784-4250. It's Geiss. Visit them online at geissdoors.com.
Don't think twice. Call Geiss.
Jake suffered with carpal tunnel syndrome.
Tingling numbness in my hands and fingers, not sleeping well at night, tossing and turning, trying to manage with pain pills and stretching, and it just wasn't helping.
He didn't want the traditional invasive carpal tunnel surgery.
I had seen people with the bandages and scars and clubs for hands. I just don't have time to be incapable of doing things for 6 to 8 to 10 weeks.
Then he learned about the Ovation Hand Institute and the Ovation Technique, an ultra minimally invasive procedure done in the office.
I wanted to get it looked at sooner than later. So I had the virtual consult. It was very thorough as far as like I was sitting in a doctor's office. I was booked for the procedure 2 weeks later, had my right hand done. Very quick procedure. It was really great. That very night when I went home, it was the first time in probably 3 months my hand did not wake me up.
Book an appointment with the Ovation Hand Institute and find out if you're a candidate for the Ovation Technique.
Probably the most surprising thing was how quickly I was able to do things again. I'm cooking dinner, I'm doing yard work and all that kind of stuff the next day.
Visit ovationhand.com. ovationhand.com.
Slide into your neighborhood Century Food Store to score the freshest produce, tastiest treats, and everything in between. Now through Wednesday, save on 48-ounce selected varieties Stone Ridge ice cream, 2 for $7. 18 to 24.6-ounce selected varieties Vandecamp's fish, $4.49. 4.5 to 5.3-ounce selected varieties Dan and Greek yogurt, 5 for $5. 9.5 to 10.75-ounce selected varieties Hostess mini donuts, 2 for $4.
Let's get some strawberries.
Attention shoppers. Safe.
Okay. Ooh, pineapple fulfills every need.
While you're shopping, a drive way back, it's a gunner.
There's something goofy going on with the PA.
Need a price check and I'll take me out to the ball game.
See, what is going on?
You're hearing things. We're at Century Foods, and you can't take your mind off winning that ultimate baseball fan sweepstakes.
I'm hoping to throw out the first pitch at a Milwaukee baseball game.
Or attend batting practice.
Or hold the finish line ribbon for the racing sausages.
You don't say.
The ultimate baseball fan sweepstakes at Century Foods. Enter on Century's Facebook or Instagram by July 30th.
Find furniture for life from Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, or downtown Milwaukee.
The crew are out in Colorado to hit that Rocky Mountain high.
1-2 pitch, high fly ball, left field, inside the pole, gone, Jackson Churio.
Our Brewers Rockies coverage starts tonight at 7:05 on your home for the Milwaukee Brewers. News Radio 620 WTMJ Milwaukee.
At 2 o'clock, it is 35 degrees. Tonight, increasing clouds, a low of 31. Tomorrow, a little rain-snow mix, a high of 41. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, I'm John Merkier. The markets are still in roller coaster territory as the majority of President Trump's global affairs are set to take effect tomorrow. U.S. stocks have been mainly positive today, but economists warn when the tariffs go through, prices could rise on everything from groceries to electronics. But the White House says negotiations are taking place with other countries. Press Secretary Carolyn Leavitt says about 70 countries have already indicated they want to negotiate.
President Trump is willing to pick up the phone and talk. And the president met with his trade team this morning, and he directed them to have tailor-made trade deals with each and every country that calls up this administration to strike a deal.
In Milwaukee,
Part 1 crime is down 12%. Non-fatal shootings decrease 15%. Carjackings decrease 12%. These are good trends. They should be recognized.
That's Milwaukee Police Chief Jeffrey Norman detailing the crime data from the first few months of 2025. Part 1 crimes are forms of violent crime in the city, including aggravated assault, arsons, and carjackings. The alarming trends were the slight increase in homicides and a 50% increase in human trafficking compared to 2024. Former Wisconsin Supreme Court Justice who spread election conspiracies agrees to surrender his law license.
The agreement Monday comes after the State Office of Lawyer Regulation filed a 10-count complaint last November against Michael Gableman, accusing him of misconduct during a probe. The complaint stems from Gableman's investigation into allegations of fraud related to the 2020 presidential election that now President Trump narrowly lost in Wisconsin. The state Supreme Court ultimately could revoke Gableman's law license completely, though the court rarely administers such a harsh punishment for attorneys. Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
A smoky haze over Lakeshore Park in Milwaukee this afternoon is all according to plan.
The prescribed burn Tuesday, a first of its kind for the downtown Milwaukee Park, which the Department of Natural Resources' Angela Vicchio says is necessary to fight back against invasive species.
Randomly, we have alfalfa, which is not a common invasive.
Vicchio says the burn is all carefully controlled and closely monitored throughout the day.
It's looking at things like the wind direction, the wind speed, which being on the lakefront is always a little bit more up in the air.
At Lakeshore State Park in Milwaukee, Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
All right, let's check out those markets. News about your money. Everything was up big time today, and it has been wiped out. The Dow is now down 41 points and going down. The S&P is down 35 and descending. The NASDAQ just went down 10 points in 5 seconds. It's down 182. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com. Sports, traffic, and weather up next. Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time is 2:04.
You've got several kids, or your job and other commitments keep you buried with work.
Meanwhile, the clutter is piling up at home. How can people stay tidy when their lives are in chaos?
We have a solution to help you chase away the chaos.
Yes. He's Dan, and I'm Katie. Together, we're Inspired Closets.
Our team at Inspired Closets can more than double your closet storage space via gorgeous closet renovations.
And our true lifetime warranty makes it a no-brainer. Get started today at InspiredClosetsMilwaukee.com.
Inspired Closets.
A wife and husband team.
At Blaine's Farm and Fleet, we believe in making the most of what you love, making sure your money is as well spent as your time. So as you start your spring projects, we have the value you need to make them your own. Right now, Rewards members get a free $10 gift card with an $80 estate fertilizer purchase, 10% off our entire assortment of quality sump pumps, and save 20% on all Gardner Bender electrical tools and supplies. Blaine's Farm and Fleet. Being original.
For your next night out, revel in the fusion of artistry and flavor with Sushi at St. Kate, offering guests an elevated experience where freshness and creativity converge in every bite. St. Kate the Arts Hotel introduces an exciting new sushi menu to its culinary repertoire. Indulge in the finest seafood, freshest ingredients, and expert craftsmanship for an inspired and delectable dining journey. Experience the art of sushi at St. Kate and learn more at stkatearts.com.
Vince Vitrano here for Connect Chiropractic. Get your aches and pains under control. But not only that, regular care with Connect Chiro can bring back your energy. A lot of folks start with headaches, back pain, and shoulder pain. How quickly you see results varies from person to person, but time and repetition are the key to staying on track. No twisting, no cracking, no popping. Connect Chiro docs use a special tool for all your adjustments, targeted results, and a gentler experience. Check out the new location in Oak Creek or get started at GoConnectChiro.com.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all sports desk. The Brewers begin a 6-game road trip tonight in Denver with the first of 3 against the Rockies. Coverage of tonight's game begins at 7:05 on WTMJ. Just 4 games remain on the Bucs' regular season schedule, including tonight against the Timberwolves. Bucs forward Bobby Portis is eligible to return from a 25-game suspension. Let's check out those roads. WTMJ Time Saver traffic. A couple of incidents to tell you about. The ramp on I-94 East at Moreland is blocked due to a disabled vehicle. And also, oops, my little screen just went away here. Also, the ramp from 894 to 41 North is blocked, a disabled vehicle there. Traffic is sponsored by the all-new Burghardt Sporting Goods.
The all-new Burghardt Sporting Goods, the Midwest's best baseball and softball training facility and retail center in New Berlin and Fox Point.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast tonight: increasing clouds, a low of 31. Tomorrow, rain snow mix, a high of 41. On Thursday, rain snow mix, a high of 42. Friday, sunny 46. Saturday, sunny 52. Right now in Madison, sunny skies and 40 degrees. In Green Bay, lots of sunshine and 38. In Waukesha, partly cloudy 41. In Milwaukee, sunny and 36 degrees. I'm John Merkier, Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time 2:07.
It's time to take a spin around Wisconsin and find stories you might have missed. Here's Spinning the State on Spanning the State with Kristin Brey.
Indeed. Every day after the 2 o'clock news, we spin around the state for stories that you might have missed that may matter to you, that maybe you care about. So let's see where we're headed today.
Oak Creek.
Oak Creek. Hey, we know the mayor there, or the former mayor there, as he loves to remind us. Yes. So there is no better way to let off steam. Well, maybe there's a better way, but some people, there's no better way to let off steam than have your favorite drink, listen to some music, and swing a couple golf balls. And now you can do that in Oak Creek. There's going to be a new indoor golf bar. So it's called Swing and Sip Golf Bar, and it's going to be opening later this year on East Rawson Avenue. According to city documentation, the new venue will feature GolfZone golf simulators. It must be the brand. But it's suitable for all skill levels, as well as a full-service bar that offers cocktails, beer, and non-alcoholic beverages. The golf bar is expected to get about 35 customers per day, running from 9 a.m. to 10 p.m., with 1 or 2 days off during the summertime, which is the indoor golf off-season, according to the city bar. So it's going to open later this year. And Brey, have you ever done one of these golf simulators?
I have not. I've been wanting to, but not on my major to-do list.
I in general would like to get better at golf. I kind of played as a kid, so I have some fundamentals, so long as I can remember to keep my head down. But recently, my uncle, so last time we were in Wisconsin Rapids, my uncle has made his own makeshift golf simulator situation in a man cave. It's not at his house, and it's in a storage unit.
Okay.
And I guess it's just it's his happy place now.
Aw.
And we went and visited him there last time we were up there, and it's, it's not one of these that there's actually, because he just made it with the materials that he has. But
Yeah.
He's 3 screens. One is a screen of hand, that actually tapes him because he's working on his swing. One has the screen with the course that he's playing and the simulator part.
Good.
And it was just, and he just has so much fun. He's like, I'll spend hours out here. So yeah, so maybe it is a great way to, I just feel like golf sometimes is a way to be more aggravated when your swing is not going the way that you want it to.
I've never
instead
golfed.
of actually feeling stress relief.
Okay. I've never golfed, so I have no idea what that life is like. I heard it's a good way to build relationships with people because you're out there for so long.
Yeah.
But again, that's one of the things people don't invite me to do, and I'm like, I want to do it. Says a lot about a lot.
Okay. On that note, let's see where we're going next.
Green Bay.
Green Bay. All right. So coal piles in Green Bay are causing quite an eyesore, but the city is not sure where to put it. The coal piles currently sit on a bulk commodities storage facility that has been operated by the C. Rice Company since 1900. However, the city wants to regain the prime riverfront real estate that the piles currently occupy, which makes sense. Efforts by local leaders on where to move the piles has been ongoing for decades, and their most recent deal in December fell apart after the Brown County Board voted to make changes to an agreement reached by the company and the county. Brown County also decommissioned a power plant at the mouth of the river that produced grant funding to redevelop as a part of a plan to expand the Port of Green Bay. Currently, Green Bay County, Brown County, and C. Rice Company are now in negotiations to relieve the eyesore with $2 million of $15 million of grant funding hanging in the balance until they can all agree on a deal. I feel like that's how Jones Island is down here. Really, this is lakefront property that we're just smells awful, and we're just this is the best use of it. But Such is life. All right, when we come back, Ike Winter's here. I mentioned on Friday that he had some big news as far as a partnership with the NFL ahead of the draft. So he's going to be here. This is a good time if you want to watch, to text WATCH to 855-616-1620, because I think if I can spy in the producer booth, he has brought, yes, he has. He's brought some of his artwork with him. So we are going to be talking about the reclaimed wood artist making Milwaukee famous. Ike Winter will be with us after this.
A whole day dedicated to us?
No, dedicated to you, the WTMJ fan.
Come celebrate WTMJ with us, your favorite WTMJ host, at a private tailgate at the Brewers game Saturday, May 17th.
Enjoy food, drinks, and hanging out with us. Plus tickets to the Brewers game as they take on the Twins at AmFam Field.
Get more information and secure your tickets at WTMJday.com.
Tickets will go fast, so sign up today.
We'll see you at the ballpark for WTMJ Day, Saturday, May 17th.
Experience one of the greatest choral masterpieces of all time when the Milwaukee Symphony Orchestra and Milwaukee Symphony Chorus present the Brahms Requiem at the Bradley Symphony Center, April 11th through the 13th. MSO artistic partner Deshaun Burton and Sonia Headlam will be the soloists in this work, which will be conducted by music director Ken David Mazur. The Brahms Requiem is not so much a lamentation for the dead as it is a tuneful, comforting, heartfelt celebration of life. Complete performances of the work only come around every so often, so don't miss this special opportunity to revel in its romantic glory, April 11th through the 13th only. For tickets, call the MSO box office at 414-291-7605 or visit mso.org.
Football fans, Verizon is giving you the chance to win the ultimate draft experience with the Road to the Draft sweepstakes. 10 lucky winners will win tickets to the first day of the 2025 draft in Green Bay, including round-trip car service from Milwaukee, hotel accommodations, plus access to the Verizon viewing zone. Don't miss your chance to win the ultimate draft experience powered by Verizon. Hurry to select Wisconsin Verizon locations to enter by April 13th. No purchase necessary to enter. Must be legal U.S. resident of Wisconsin or Illinois, age 21 years or older to enter. Void where prohibited. For official rules and full details, visit www.espnwisconsincontest.com.
Welcome back to Spanning the State. I am Kristin Brey, and when were you here last, Ike?
January?
Was it January? I couldn't remember if it was
December?
the end of last year or the beginning of this year. But Ike Winter is a wood artist based in Milwaukee. We've had him on before to talk about his Milwaukee Bucks pieces, your big Crayola box that made national news. But when you were here last, I think I asked something along the lines of like, so what's next? And you had a twinkle in your eye, but you teased us. You're like, I can't talk about it yet.
Yeah.
Fast forward to last week, and you could talk about it.
Now we can talk about
So
it.
tell the people what's premiering.
I mean, so the NFL did hit me up the end of last year to do a project together, and by the whole creative conversation, we figured out that I was going to do all 32 teams out of my style of art. So they're all this big. They're like 3 foot by 3 foot.
So they're big. So if you want to text WATCH to 855-616-1620, which is the Citing Unlimited WTMJ talk and text line, 855-616-1620. Text WATCH because we're going to get an image of, you brought in the Green Bay Packer one.
Yep.
So you can kind of get a idea of how big these things are, and there's 32 of them.
Correct. They're all going to hang in the player walkway. So as somebody gets drafted, they're going to walk down the hallway to the stage to their team, and yeah, all these pieces are going to be hanging by division. I've seen a couple renderings of it, but it's going to be wild. Yeah.
So one of the big things about your work is that you don't stain wood, you don't buy wood. Everything you use is wood that you find either dumpster diving or on the side of the road. So when the NFL contacted you, how much of the wood did you already have? And it was already stuff that you knew you could use versus having to kind of find the right piece for all of the different logos.
Yeah, I spent about 3 weeks straight just finding wood, not cutting at all. It was while we were in negotiations of the contract and figuring out how each of these teams' logos would look in a wood format. And they had to kind of create those renderings of the colors. And while they were doing that, I just collected, it was like 50 pieces of furniture. I just did not want to run out of wood during this project. Once I started, I just wanted to build. So yeah, I collected like 50, 60. It was all dressers and entertainment centers that this whole project was built out of, pretty much.
Is there anything that has color? Because so we're looking at the Green Bay one right now, and it's obviously the Green Bay logo, but it is like a darker brown and a lighter brown, like shades of brown. So are they all?
They're all like wood adaptations, like neutral tone adaptations of the logos. None of them are true to the colors.
Okay,
obviously
that would have been because that was the thing with your Bucks, your Bucks piece is that it took years of you having an eye out for those Bucks colors
just to find the purple.
Yes, exactly.
And when I told the NFL, I was like, I can do this, but we can't do color.
Okay.
And there's like, honestly, that's kind of cooler.
Yeah.
Like the Raiders is really the only team that is black and white. So our color adaptation actually enhanced the colors. Everything else we like desaturated. But we just turned them all into like a neutral tone format.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Which logo was the hardest to make?
Hardest is a tough word because it was the most enjoyable. But the ones that took the longest were the Jaguars and the Buccaneers and the Browns.
Is it because there's so much detail in them?
Yeah. And the Browns you wouldn't think. It's just a helmet.
I'm trying to think of what I'm trying to think of what the Brown
But think of all the crossbars in a helmet, like all those little pieces of wood. It took a lot, but yeah, the Jaguars has all the spots and kind of the blends of the colors, and then the Buccaneers is like the skulls, the swords. Those were the three that for sure took the longest.
Okay. What is the press been like for this?
You saw my schedule.
Well, I saw your schedule. So the NFL is working with you on getting press for this. And so what has that been like and how has it been different than the press? Because you're not a rookie, right? Like you've had some pretty high profile media before.
Not this much at this pace. Yeah. I've done interviews before, like one-off things, but not like this much. And I don't even want to know what draft week is going to bring.
So that was going to be my next question. So you're obviously going to go up there.
Yeah.
What do you have scheduled, or what does the NFL have you scheduled doing during the draft?
We're pretty much on a day-to-day basis right now. We're doing today a big press tour today. The rest of the week and next week, I'm like gluing up the pieces and finalizing all the colors. And we're not even we have things that we're scheduling for draft week, but I don't know what I'm doing.
Okay.
Like, I'm assuming I'm going to be busy for 5 days straight.
And so what was the total hours spent on this project?
It was over 600 hours, but it was 500 hours of cutting wood. So the other hundreds of hours were like designing, finding the wood, stuff like that. The time crunch is really what we were pressed up against. So it was 500 hours in 39 days. Wow. So I had 64 days to build every piece, and I said I don't want to leave it up to chance. I want to crank this out as quick as I can. So it took 30.
Did you have to start over on any of them?
Not start over, but we've had to adapt a couple of colors and change things because the thing is all of them have to match each other. So I would build a cool piece, and we're like, hey, the colors look great, but then you build the rest of the division, and you're like, oh, now this isn't saturated enough. Like for example, the NFC North, I still have to redo the Lions because the other three teams are so saturated and really standout-ish. The Lions is kind of like dull right now compared to the rest. It looks cool on its own, but when you put it with the other ones, it looks a little dull.
So here's a question for that, because my first part of the question, who gets to keep the logos once the draft is over?
So the NFL owns them.
Okay, so they're going to use unknown what they're going to do with them. They're not going to give them to like each team, but
yeah, nothing is decided. As far as I know, they're going back to the NFL headquarters in New York.
Very cool.
Yep.
So then for a piece like that, if you have to redo the Lions, does that original one just get scrapped?
I'm like redoing components of it.
Okay.
So like you can see, like this is 3 shades of wood. Some pieces have 5 or 6 shades on it. So if they're like, hey, give us another color option of the G, I just replace it.
Okay.
I'm not redoing the whole Lions piece.
Okay, so there's not some Lions fan out there that can be like, hey, sell it on eBay, I'll buy it.
No, yeah. I've had to redo like probably 6 pieces, but different components just to match it all and make it blend as a collection.
So this is very cool. I'm so happy for you. But there's another big piece of news that you have coming up this weekend that has nothing to do with the NFL.
We decided to cram it all into 1 month.
that was an interesting choice.
I was quiet for a few months and I got bored. And I was like, let's just do everything in April.
So,
MKE Gallery Night. The Iron Horse Hotel is one of the venues. I think it's like 30 venues in the Third Ward host art that night. And the Iron Horse reached out and said, do you want to have a private gallery for a whole month of April in our lobby? And I said, yeah, sure, let's do it. Not knowing that this NFL press stuff was going to get announced this early. Friday night we are opening a gallery at the Iron Horse. So pretty much everything that I've created, the Crayola crayon box, the SpongeBob piece, some Lego pieces, just a bunch of my work will be on display at the Iron Horse. And Friday night is like the artist talk and more of the meet and greet. It's from 5 to 9 with an artist talk at 7 p.m.
Okay.
And you're going from what?
That is the plan. I mean, we might have to go to a fish fry ahead of time. I have to talk to my husband.
We'll do both.
Yes, we'll do both. But yes, so that is the plan. I'm going to be there. So did the Bucks pieces be there? The Bucks, great, because we got to see those at the Analysis Live, which was very cool. Because I had not seen the refrigerator piece in person.
It's interesting. Like that one has slipped under the radar because I made it kind of before everything blew up.
Yeah.
And it's just been sitting in my shop and I never talked about it again. And through Analysis Live, we got to bring it to light. That one's kind of bigger. I'm going to see if I can find a cool spot for it at the Iron Horse, but the Bucks piece will for sure be there.
Absolutely.
The purple and green.
All right. So if you can't make it on Friday, the pieces themselves will be there on display for the whole month.
Through the end of April.
Through the end of April. Where can people find all the information on all of this? Both see more pictures of the logos, see more work for you, see more information about Friday night's event.
Yeah. So the Third Ward Gallery Night, I think they have a page.
Okay.
I would have to double check what the actual URL is. But it's on the Iron Horse's website as well. I mean, I've shown glimpses of.
I know. I feel like your social media is you've kind of been able to see a little bit of it.
I'm still teasing. Again, the announcement came earlier than expected.
Okay.
So I still have yet to announce on my social media that these are going to be in the player walkway. Nobody knows that yet.
Well, I mean, anyone who's listening right now does.
I know, right? It's been in the news though. So if you search like Winter NFL Draft, every news outlet.
Winter with a Y.
Winter with a Y. Every news outlet has kind of highlighted different pieces, but there's some pieces that like the Broncos, I don't think has been in any press really. Like I know that the Broncos piece specifically, there's like 4 or 5 pieces of the photos that we've been promoting this whole collaboration.
Very cool. This is such an awesome experience, like opportunity for you. I met you back in, was it 2022?
Yeah, 21 or 20.
21 and 22.
In that era.
And just to see how much has happened for you over these last couple of years is very awesome. And I'm so happy to see all of this awesomeness. So thank you so much, Ike, for being here. And I can't wait to hear how the draft was.
Yeah. Are you going to be there as well?
No.
Oh.
I don't know.
We'll get you.
I have not been assigned anything. So we'll see if I find a way to finagle my way in there.
I appreciate the opportunity to come on here and show this. And yeah, it's going to be a very exciting month here.
Absolutely. All right, Ike Winter, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Brewers baseball is the sound of summer in Milwaukee. And now you can catch the Brewers on local TV for select Tuesday night games.
Curio sends it deep to left, and there she
It's
goes.
Brew Crew Tuesdays. On April 15th, the Crew take on the Detroit Tigers at 6:40 p.m.
Half swing. He went. Another strikeout for Freddie Peralta.
This Brew Crew Tuesday is presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. See the action on Fox 6 in Milwaukee and check your local listings for where you can watch over the air statewide on April 15th.
Do you know the secret to losing up to 1 pound of fat every day? At Milwaukee Weight Loss, we know the secret. Our doctor-developed, easy-to-follow weight loss program helps you lose weight fast, naturally and safely, and with no drugs or injections with risk of serious side effects, no prepackaged meals, bars, shakes, and no exercising required. Our program helps reset your metabolism so you can keep the weight off for good with a coach for ongoing support. Our program costs up to half as much and works up to twice as fast as most other programs. Go to MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com to schedule your free consultation.
Hey, it's Steve Scafidi. I've been on this weight loss journey for about 10 weeks now, currently in the maintenance phase. Hit my goal, 35 pounds. Reached my weight loss goal easy, fast, safely. And I'm going to continue working with a wonderful team at Milwaukee Weight Loss.
Many patients lose 20 to 30 pounds in about a month or two. That's up to a pound per day. Schedule your free consultation by calling 262-449-1180 or online at MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com. That's MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com. Results may vary.
Find it, buy it, ride it. Find it, buy it, ride it.
Find a bike, buy a bike.
bike, ride a bike during the nation's largest bike sale. That's right, the Wheel and Sprocket Bike Expo sale is back. And so is our trade-in, trade-up program, which means you can trade in your old bike for a gift card to use towards your new bike.
Find it, buy it, ride it. Find it, buy it, ride it.
Electric bikes, road bikes, cargo bikes, mountain bikes, kid bikes, hybrid bikes. Over 2,000 brand new and used bikes on sale, along with thousands of accessories. From helmets and lights to car racks and more.
Find it, buy it, ride it. Find it, buy it, ride it.
Find a bike, buy a bike, trade in your old bike for a gift card towards a new bike. Friday noon to 8, Saturday 10 to 8, and Sunday 11 to 5 at the State Fair Park inside the Expo Center. Visit bikeexposale.com for details. Admission is free.
Life is short. We'll see you at the Bike Expo.
I'm WTMJ's Sandy Max. What makes senior living at Three Pillars so special? Let's hear from Three Pillars resident Lola.
I had seen a lot of retirement places. In a minute, I drove into the driveway coming into Three Pillars. I was sold. The grounds are just beautiful. The management are just incredibly kind people. That mood permeates the atmosphere to me, whether it's the staff, the people that serve it in the restaurant, and the residents themselves. It's just a lot of caring, kind people.
Schedule a tour today at threepillars.org.
Welcome back to Spanning the State. I am Kristin Brey. Ike Winter is still, everyone wants to see his art piece, and so he's still in here. But if you did not get a chance to see his Packers G on the YouTube live stream, you can go to his social media page. So if you go to Ike, IKE_Winter, WYNTR, he has a bit of a preview of all of the 32 logos. And I think you can't tell, but like they're really big. And when I first saw this video, when it got announced, I guess I didn't realize that they're all like 3 feet wide, and some of them are even 3 feet tall, which you forget that that's like basically for a lot of people your wingspan, and it's heavy. And so if you want to get a chance of seeing at least a glimpse at what these logos look like, go to Ike_Winter, Winter with a Y, at least on Instagram. And then his website is ikewinter.com. Well, I don't know if he has it on his website yet, but you can see his other artwork. And so it's just so cool to me as far as the creativity that goes into something, especially not being committed to not staining any of the wood and really having to plan it out before you start cutting. Because think about measure twice, cut once, because you can't, once you cut it, you can't come back from it. And so very cool opportunity for him. Very cool opportunity for all the players to be able to walk in and see these like beautiful pieces of art in the logo of the team that they get drafted to go play for. When we come back, there's more sports talk. You'd think we were on ESPN today, but we're going to be talking to Joa Tucker on the other side of ABC News and local headlines.
This is a special report from ABC News. I'm Michelle Franzen. The White House says the president is not pausing tariffs and pushing ahead with reciprocal tariffs on other countries he says have been unfair when it comes to trade. Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt at today's briefing says some 70 countries have already reached out saying they want to negotiate.
The president likes to get things done, but he's very much focused on ensuring that these deals are good for the American worker, they are good for American manufacturing, and again, that they tackle these crippling deficits with these countries.
Economists are warning a prolonged trade war could lead to price hikes on everything from gas, groceries, and materials used to make products. Small business owner Emily Lay says her company Simplified is already feeling the impacts.
Our backs are against a wall, and we're going to have to end up cutting salaries, raising prices, not hiring people in America that we wanted to, or, I hate to say it, but close our doors.
President Trump says any disruption would be temporary. This is ABC News.
Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time 2:31. I'm John Mercure. A former Wisconsin State Supreme Court justice who spread election conspiracies agrees to surrender his law license. The State Office of Lawyer Regulation filed a 10-count complaint in November against Michael Gableman, accusing him of misconduct during a probe. The complaint stems from Gableman's investigation into allegations of fraud related to the 2020 election. Harley-Davidson CEO Jochen Seitz plans to retire this year. Seitz will remain in the position until the company's board identifies his successor to ensure an orderly leadership transition. Harley-Davidson reported a net loss of $117 million in the fourth quarter of 2024. And fear not if you see flames coming from Lakeshore State Park in Milwaukee this afternoon. It's all part of a prescribed burn run by the Department of Natural Resources. The burn started at 10 a.m. and is expected to last until late afternoon. The park will be closed during the duration of the burn. Time for news about your money. This is not pretty at all. Everything was up almost 5%, and now as we rush towards the close of the markets, it's falling like a rock. The Dow is down 330 points. The S&P is down 84. The NASDAQ is down 362. That's 2.5%. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com. Checking your roads. Two little incidents to tell you about. I-94, the east ramp onto St. Paul Avenue. The right shoulder is blocked there. There's a little bit of a delay, a little bit of a slowdown. And my map's acting really weird this afternoon. Okay, the other one we want to tell you about is I-43 northbound. The right shoulder onto the 894 ramp is blocked due to a crash. The WTMJ 5-day forecast tonight: increasing clouds, low of 31. Tomorrow, rain, snow, mix, a high of 41. Thursday, rain, snow, mix, a high of 42. Friday, sunny, 46. Saturday, sunny, 52 degrees. Right now in Madison, sunny skies and 40 degrees. In Green Bay, mostly sunny, 38. In Waukesha, mostly sunny, 41. And in Milwaukee, it is sunny and 39 degrees. I'm John Merkier, Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 2:33.
Hey, this is WTMJ Steve Scavini for Badger Fence. If you listen to the show over the years, you know I've talked about my beautiful new cedar fence installed at my home. Well, the company I trusted with that job is Badger Fence. They've been installing high-quality, durable fences in the area since, get this, 1945. Proud member of the Better Business Bureau with an A-plus rating. Doesn't get any better than that. As well as a member of the National Association of the Remodeling Industry. If privacy, security, and a wide choice of fence styles are top of mind when you choose a fence for your property, then Badger Fence is the right company. They're licensed, bonded, and insured, using the best materials in the industry. Badger Fence knows that premium fence materials, design options, and affordability all play an important role in your overall satisfaction. So whether you want wood, which is what we chose, ornamental, chain link, even PVC, they can help you choose the right materials for your fencing project. We love our fence, and when my wife Kathy and I were shopping around for fence companies, we found the right match with Badger Fence. To set up an appointment to talk with Badger Fence about your project, go to badgerfence.com. Badgerfence.com. Tell them Scafidi from WTMJ sent you.
Cheese doodles, Mr. Nougat Bar. Oh, here we go. 4-door hatchback.
Some things are fine to buy from a vending machine, but a car's not one of them. That national online company makes it seem convenient, but it won't be so convenient if you have a problem with the vehicle you buy. And if it's after 7 days, good luck. Adam member dealers also let you search online, plus test drive the vehicle before you buy it. And they're right here to handle any issues.
But the car's stuck. No!
Start your search at adamm.com.
WTMJ's Vince Vitrano here for Shopco Optical. Get eyewear for everything you do at Shopco Optical. Schedule your annual comprehensive eye exam, check out new frame styles, and order your annual supply of contact lenses all in one place. Enjoy the time and attention your eyes deserve at Shopco Optical. Receive quality eye care and a personalized vision solution tailored to your specific vision and lifestyle needs. Call Shopco Optical or visit shopco.com to schedule an appointment at a location nearest you.
Well, welcome back to Spanning the State. I am Kristin Brey. So we continue on this is probably the most sports we've ever done on a show, right? Yeah. But that's okay because I like sports. And it's been 20 years since UWM made their first and only run to the Sweet 16. And so if you were a fan back then, maybe you remember a name, Joa Tucker, who was on that team. So that was 2003 to 2004. So it would have been 2003, right?
2005 was when we finished up. Our 2005 was a Sweet 16 run. I finished in 2006.
You finished. Okay.
Yeah,
and our connection is that my brother he didn't finish the season with you guys though. He started the season with you guys, and then we did a semester abroad, right?
Yeah. So I was on the team. That was my redshirt year when Ben was there. So I got a chance to meet and know your brother. He's a great guy for sure.
All right. So for people who maybe have forgotten about what that run was like, can you tell us more about like who the coach was, who had another really good this year, and some of the other players who were on that team.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, long story short, I got a chance to watch Bruce Pearl in the Final Four a couple days ago, and they weren't able to pull it off. But he was here, and he was truly visionary, and I think he kind of rode a little bit of the wave of what Bo Ryan came in and did. And I think Ben came in under Bo Ryan.
Yeah.
But Bo Ryan kind of started something and kind of started this program going. And then Bruce Pearl was able to come in right after that and kind of build on that and really just lay the foundation and the groundwork, or continue to lay the foundation and groundwork of what Milwaukee could be. He really sold us on a dream of what UWM could be as a basketball, program. And I didn't see it. I tell people a story over and over about he took us down to the U.S. Cellular Arena and he told us about how we were going to sell this place out. We were playing at the Kalachi Center. Kalachi Center had a capacity of about 5,000 people.
Yeah.
Team was good at the time, and that was the first team that ever made the tournament in school history. We were getting about 3,500 fans, and he's selling me on how we're going to sell out the Cellular Arena, which is now the Panther Arena. And, two years later, after a ton of hard work and some good hiring and some good recruiting, we were able to sell that place out and make that run in the Sweet 16, which was just really awesome. Obviously, cool times for all parties involved. I say from the administration to the coaches to the cheerleaders to the fans to the players, everybody was having a good time during that time for sure.
And we're going to get to the new project that you're spearheading, but just quickly, I'm sure you've seen the viral video of Bruce shirtless in the crowd.
Was this year?
This is this year.
Well, I mean, I know he had some previous shirtless appearances.
And so he seemed like a fun guy to play for.
Yeah, absolutely. People always ask me, how is Bruce Pearl? Like, is that the person he really is behind closed doors? And honestly, like, that's who he is. That's his real personality. None of that is a facade. He was a great coach and really a great guy, somebody I'm still cool with to this day. So we kept a good relationship. But obviously, when you're in the trenches with someone, not only do they sell you some dreams, but those dreams come true. It's just a fun experience, and he's been able to do that at a number of universities, so none of his success surprises me at all.
Absolutely. All right, so Panther Future Fund. What is it? How did you come? Like, why are you spearheading this project?
The Panther Future Fund. The Panther Future Fund really kind of fell in my lap. At no time in my life did I ever think I was going to be on the fundraising side. At no time in my life did I ever think I would be dealing with compliance again. I got out of school, I thought my compliance days were done. But I think that with this whole NIL thing that started roughly about 3 years ago, it's just necessary to compete. So it's something that I saw as it was kind of starting. It's something that I saw, and I wanted to kind of get out ahead of it, and I wanted to help the school compete. I wanted to help the student athletes, and then in turn, I got to do some help in the community as well.
So basically, you're raising money to be an independent collective to help recruit, basically, student athletes to come play for the men's basketball team, right?
I think initially when I started, it was for retention. So
okay.
I think at UWM's level, I feel like whatever level conference Milwaukee is, I feel like with the style of play that Coach Lundy plays, it's almost a breeding ground for other schools to nab our players. So that was my initial thought is how do we, when we get Coach Lundy is in the foundational stages of starting his program. He gets a player, he plays really well for him, and then the following year he's gone.
Yeah.
So that was my initial thought of why I started the Panther Future Fund. That was kind of my first, kind of what got the ball rolling. He'll get a player, he'll play really good. Coach Lundy plays a really fun style. Him and his coaching staff do a really good job of developing their talent. They have one good year, and then they're gone, and then you're in your foundational stages, and then you got to start all over the following year. So that was initially my thought of starting this Panther Future Fund.
What has it been like trying to raise money for it?
Fundraising is definitely a grind.
It's a humbling experience.
It's definitely a humbling experience. And what I've told people is it's interesting because it's outside my personality. For me, I'm a hard worker. I've always been somebody who was a grinder, just working hard. So for me to go back and say, okay, I need something, and even though I don't need it for my own personal self, is definitely an interesting experience. I had an experience. I was doing some fundraising with my cousin Deontay Tatum, who runs an AAU program, and we were around some people that we've been around for a long time, and we're doing the fundraising. We're doing our pitch. Hey, we came up AAU. We're trying to raise money for these young men. AAU basketball did so much for us, and we give our spiel, and we finish, and one of our friends that we've known for a very long time, an older guy, he's like, guys, that was terrible. That was awful. I'm like, wow. I mean, what you mean it was awful? He's like, well, you guys are asking for yourselves. Like, you're coming from a space where Joa Tucker is asking someone for money. And that's not the case. You're asking for the kids. So you have to like step outside of yourself and realize that you don't need help. The kids need help and understand why the kids need help. And I remember I got home that day. I'm like, that's profound. That's serious. So after that happened, I think it was a little easier for me to raise money, but it's still an uncomfortable space for me, just because it doesn't flow natural for me to call somebody and say, hey, this is what I'm doing. It's going to benefit the school. It's going to benefit the student athletes. It's going to benefit the community. And I'm looking to raise some money because, again, fundraising is not necessarily in my DNA.
So how much, we were talking to Joe Tucker, who is the, I don't know, would you say the founder of the Panther Future Fund? Is that the right title?
I am the founder of the Panther Future Fund for sure.
And so how much have you been able to raise to date?
We try to stay away from the number of what we've raised, but we are working hard every day. We'll say that. We're working hard.
So I guess a better way to put it than getting the numbers out of it, from what you can raise, what you will raise, what you hope to raise, what is the impact? Because some of the numbers that have been thrown out there are insane, right?
Yeah,
I think any of us who have ever loved college sports are kind of like, this feels a little gross when you hear numbers like $20 million. And I know that we're not talking about that kind of money.
For sure.
But when you think about it, how smaller programs can compete, what impact does the money that you are raising, like, is it how many, I don't know, whatever way you want to frame that, is it per athlete, per like getting them to stay? How do you measure the impact that you're having?
I definitely think, like, when I started, and one of the things I wanted to do is I wanted to have it as a tool in Coach Lundy's and his coaching staff's tool belt. I don't think in today's landscape in college basketball, if you don't have some type of collective or some type of NIL working at your school, I don't even think you get in some people's houses. Like, I don't even think you can get a conversation with them. And that's just the honest truth of where college basketball is. If you come in and you say, hey, we got a great program, we got a great coaching staff, we've got great administration, we've got great academics, you have all these things. If NIL doesn't make the list, then people aren't going to take you serious. So that was one of the things that I know that is a huge impact, just because I had to formulate it and put it together. Obviously, that's a lot of steps in putting a 501c3 together and doing all those things. So just to have it in his tool belt is a huge deal. So that would be one of the huge impacts, I would say, for the university and for the young men and the coaching staff.
So as a former student athlete, who I'm sure was broke, I can imagine that you were, as
all
most,
of us were,
as most
for sure.
student athletes up until 2021 were.
Yes.
Do you have mixed feelings on where NIL and the portal is? Because I feel like I was not a college athlete, and there's a part of me that I was friends with so many college athletes that I do feel like they deserve to get paid, but this also feels crazy.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so how do you tussle with those kind of like mixed feelings?
I think, like, personally, I think there should be some type of guardrails. But no one knows what those guardrails are. I think there's a lot of legislation going on right now today in court and, in the coming weeks of how do you put guardrails around this situation. And I think it's tough because a lot of times I think they want to put a standard. If someone's working at this radio station, the standard for a radio host is X amount of dollars. But when you're in school and doing this, things are regional. It depends on what school you're going to. So there's so many variables that go in. I think one of my concerns is, and one of my biggest concerns, because I think I'm glad I'm not the one that has to think about what those guardrails are. But I do think for some of these student athletes, I think that you and I both know what it's like to work every day. We know what a salary is like. We know what bills are like. I think for college athletes, student athletes, I think they get into a situation where some of these people are making tons of money. For one, they have no clue what to do with it. I hope they're being advised well. But also, this may be the height of their earning career, and I think this creates a delusion for them that this is what life is. So you play college sports. You're in a situation where you're at a school and you're making a good amount of money. And then if your career doesn't work out, playing in whatever sport you did, now you have to enter the real world and you go from making X amount of dollars for something that you did for free, and then you're working a job and making a quarter of that, an eighth of that, a tenth of that, and I think it alters your reality of what life is really like. So that would be my concern. But again, I do think there should be some guardrails on it, and it'll be interesting to see what those guardrails are. And I'm not. Obviously, I was a student athlete, so I would never hate on the student athlete earning.
That's what I mean.
For sure.
Yeah, and so
I'm partial, I'll say.
But I think that it's a complex situation. This doesn't feel like this is. It certainly doesn't feel like we figured it out.
No, and I mean, I don't know that we're close to figuring it out. I think that people would like to I think we're trending in the right direction, or I think the NCAA is trending in the right direction. But obviously, once you get into litigation and worried about, cases being brought and class out, all of those things I think get very complicated. And all those things are over my head. But
you're doing your part.
I'm doing my part. That's
Panther
all.
Future Fund.
Absolutely.
And then also, you're also a serial. Your day job is you're an entrepreneur.
Absolutely.
And recently opened the Dream Lounge. So tell people where they can find the Dream Lounge.
So Dream Lounge Social is at 1806 North MLK. It's on King Drive, in the historic King Drive. It is obviously I got a sports background, so it is a sports-based lounge. Smaller spot, business.
How is that different than a sports bar?
So sports bar is probably going to be a little rowdier.
Okay.
This is a lounge. This is somewhere you can kind of come chill, come have a date. You're welcome to come in, have a date with your husband, have a drink. Obviously hopefully not too far from where you guys live, but come in, have a drink, watch a game, kick back, has that the relaxing feel. We got some kind of lounger type chairs in there, so you can come in and relax and get close with your, significant other if that's what you want to do. But different from a sports lounge, I would say, just somewhere you can kind of come chill and watch a game and a little more relaxed feel than going down to Water Street for sure.
All right. Very cool. Joe Tucker, thank you so much for joining us today.
Absolutely. I appreciate you having me.
All right. We'll be back with more after this.
When you need commercial or residential plumbing service, you need it now. Call Quality. We have over a 60-year track record of taking care of people. And with over 60 vehicles ready to respond to your needs, we'll be there in a hurry, so you won't have to worry. This is Anthony Zaneski. For commercial or residential plumbing service, call Quality and get the signature service you deserve.
Call Quality for the signature service you deserve.
Call Quality. Heating, cooling, plumbing, and electric. At Quality, we offer the most respected brand names in heating and air conditioning. Armstrong and Carrier. It doesn't get any better. And our technicians are top-notch. I know, because I handpicked every one of them. They're vetted and thoroughly trained. Hey, they're the cream of the crop. And that's why our quality workmanship guarantee is the strongest in the business.
Call Quality for the signature service you deserve.
Call Quality. Heating, cooling, plumbing, and electric.
Get out and enjoy your yard. Outdoor Living Unlimited puts cool stuff in your yard. Patios, decks, pergolas, outdoor kitchens, screen rooms, even in-ground pools. You dream it, we design it together, then Outdoor Living Unlimited installs it for you. OutdoorLivingUnlimited.com.
Pain, tingling, burning in your hand and wrist, wakes you up at night, makes life difficult. Working with your hands is nearly impossible. If that sounds like you may suffer with carpal tunnel syndrome. The problem is Medicare pays for the old open surgery done in a hospital or surgery center. And it's no walk in the park. Big incision, 6-week recovery. Imagine your hands being bandaged up, unable to use it for 6 weeks. So if you want to, you can have that old open surgery the government says to get, or you have another option. An ultra minimally invasive procedure done in the office that can give you immediate relief in 15 minutes and you are back to your life in just one day. The Ovation Technique, only at Ovation Hand Institute. You've suffered long enough. You don't have to put the fix off anymore. Visit ovationhand.com and see the difference with your own eyes. ovationhand.com.
Hey, this is WTMJ's Steve Scavini for Heiser Automotive. I love talking about Heiser. Just picked up a 2023 pre-owned with very low mileage Chevy Silverado 1500 LT, beautiful glacier blue. Love it. Looks fantastic. It's got a black cloth interior. Every time I get in this truck, I say, that is amazing. 8-speed automatic transmission. Awesome mileage, MPG for a truck. 24 city. Get this, 29 highway. Towing capacity, payload is big, all the things you love about Heiser. Here's what I love about Heiser, all the great programs. Whether you're talking a pre-owned or new, Safe and Sound program, right? Vehicle exchange program, right? Love it or exchange it. Valid on new or pre-owned vehicles, which is what I was talking about. Purchase or lease with the comfort of your own home. Roadside assistance for life. All the things you love about Heiser is all the reasons why they say every day and why I always tell people at Heiser Automotive, today's your day.
Welcome back to Spanning the State. I am Kristin Brey. One final sports story for this sports-heavy Tuesday. Bobby Portis is coming back tonight, which we feel like we're all excited about. And it made me think, around a year ago, I had the opportunity to sit courtside at the game, which was very cool. And we sat on like the table in between where the team sat. So instead of like there was still a table here in front of us. And so it wasn't where most of the, Gruber and those all folks sit. But what I did not realize, and I learned that night, is that Brooke Lopez and Bobby Portis have I guess it's a superstitious.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm going to say, don't you?
I think so.
So right in front of us, literally on the table that we're sitting on, so it's to the right of the bench. I'm like, what is this? And it's the dinosaur from Toy Story.
Yeah.
And it's like a little, probably 2-inch figurine. What is his name? Rex?
Yes.
Yes. So it's Rex. And we were told by the friend of ours whose seats they were, don't touch the dinosaur. So it turns out it's Brooke's dinosaur, but Bobby gets in, and so it's like their little good luck charm that whenever they're subbing in and out, they touch the dinosaur, but then they also like pour baby powder on their hands.
Yep.
And so I have a video of him. I was like, I'm going to post that back in honor of Bobby coming back today. I'm going to post that after the show today because it was such a random tradition, but it was also adorable to see giant men touch this little tiny dinosaur.
Gigantic fee-fi-fo men.
Yes. And so very happy to have Bobby back. We missed you, the mayor of Milwaukee, the unofficial mayor of Milwaukee. So hopefully he can give us the boost that we need going into the playoffs. All right. When we come back, we'll say goodbye on Spanning the State.
On Wisconsin's Morning News, we profile the average John or Jane Doe who had no idea when they got up one morning that they'd be saving a life, becoming everyday heroes.
There, yeah, she flew off the road right at a bridge, so she went down an embankment. No one could see her vehicle
Until a guy named Johnny Martinez happened to come by.
I said, ma'am, how long have you been here? And she said, I've been here since Wednesday night. And I said, no, it's today's Tuesday.
Everyday Hero, Thursdays at 6:40. Presented by Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living, transforming the culture of care.
Meet Alan, who was diagnosed with sleep apnea.
I was what they call a mouth breather, and I would breathe at night with my mouth open.
And for about 8 years, Alan struggled with a CPAP machine. And then
I saw the Advent commercial, and I thought, well, what do you got to lose? This machine is miserable.
For most people, CPAP machines are miserable, but a simple breathing triangle solution from Advent can be life-changing.
And it really was, to me, it was amazing because I don't think I ever breathed that clear.
This is Dr. Madan Kiandula. After having one of Advent's simple breathing triangle procedures, people are amazed at how freely and clearly they can breathe.
I'm happy with the procedure. I'm very glad I did it. I wish I would have done it 20 years ago. I could have avoided that machine I had to have laying next to the bed with the hose wrapped around my head.
Schedule your appointment at adventknows.com because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better. Results may vary. Most insurance accepted.
For WTMJ contest rules, visit WTMJ.com/contests.
You just realized your business needed to hire someone yesterday. How can you find amazing candidates fast? Easy. Just use Indeed. Start at Indeed.com/credit.
Find it, buy it, ride it. Find it, buy it, ride it.
Find a bike, buy a bike, ride a bike at the nation's largest bike sale. I'm Amelia Kegel with Wheel and Sprocket, and our Bike Expo sale is back at the Wisconsin State Fairgrounds this weekend inside the Expo building. Electric bikes, road bikes, cargo bikes, mountain bikes, kid bikes, hybrid bikes, all on display and ready to ride. So whether you're seeking health and wellness, adventure and fun, or just a new hobby, the path to your new journey leads to the Bike Expo sale. And remember, all of our bikes come with a 30-day satisfaction guarantee, which means you can ride it for 30 days. And if you don't love it, we'll refund your money.
Find it, buy it, ride it. Find it, buy it, ride it.
Find a bike, buy a bike, ride a bike. Friday noon to 8, Saturday 10 to 8, and Sunday 11 to 5 inside the Expo Center. Visit bikeexposale.com for details. Admission is free.
Life is short. We'll see you at the Bike Expo.
Whether you're a local who wants to enjoy a night out or you're planning to visit Milwaukee, enjoy an artfully stylish experience at St. Kate the Arts Hotel, conveniently located in the heart of downtown Milwaukee's Theater District. With deluxe accommodations, culinary creativity, on-site art galleries, and nightly live music, you'll enjoy every element of your stay at St. Kate. For a limited time, enjoy exclusive seasonal rates starting at $139. Learn more and book your stay at stkatearts.com.
I believe it's time for me to fly.
Indeed, indeed. It is time for us to pass the baton to Wisconsin's afternoon news. Brandon's shaking his head. He just wants me to keep doing the show. I'm not going to do that. Why would I steal that opportunity from John and Julia? They probably have such a wonderful, intense, informative show planned. I can't wait to listen on my way home. But we will be back tomorrow. But now, Wisconsin's afternoon news.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studio.